Hi, this is Flash from United Handyman Association with a live version of Handyman Answers. I wanted to talk today about licensing, handyman licensing, general contractor licensing. I have some questions that I've received in emails I wanted to cover. If you happen to catch this, although I did not publicize this, but if you happen to catch this, I do welcome any questions that you might want to type in. But basically, all handymen are familiar with, the differences as far as laws for general contractors versus handyman, and that the state doesn't offer a handyman license, but they offer a general contractor's license. But you're a handyman for a reason. Either you chose to be, maybe you can't become a contractor, you don't have the time requirement in the trade to become a contractor. Maybe you struggle with credit issues and you can't become a contractor. Maybe you have troubled history, you can't become a contractor. Or basically you don't want to have to work within the confines of a contractor's license and having to do a minimum of 2 trades, because as I've talked about before, that's one of the downsides that makes a contractor's license not fit the handyman trade, is that most handyman want to be able to have that freedom to be able to go out and do a single repair. Not only do they want to do that, but the homeowner needs them to do that. So that's what makes the handyman so valuable, and more valuable than a contractor, in my opinion. And I mean, the fact that a lot of contractors actually use the handyman name because they recognize that as well. And then a lot of contractors are doing handyman work illegally because they're doing work that doesn't fit within the confines of their license. So I and the United Handyman Association, years ago came with a certification program, and then we recently turned it into a certified license program, in where you would be taking an exam, pass a background screening, provide references, from customers that you are currently working for and worked for within the last 3 years. You're providing your proof of your ID identification, a copy of your driver's license, proof of insurance, proof of business license, or whatever's required in the area that you work in. All of the same similar type of things that you would go through with to get a contractor's license, although their exam is much more, it's a lot bigger than what is required by handyman. The insurance requirements also, a contractor is required to have $1 million coverage. The handyman is, it's suggested to carry $1 million coverage, but there are tiers of liability insurance that you can get, and it's generally based on the homes that you're working on. Are they worth $1 million? Are they, you might want to start out and save some money in the beginning and get insured for $500,000. So that maximum or minimum, for a contractor to have his license isn't always the same for the handyman license. I'll talk about the differences, but I wanted to talk about the fact that a handyman license does not in any way make it that you can circumvent or get around the contractor laws. If your state has a certain law, if it's a $1,000 maximum or whatever it is, we are working to change those laws. We are working to create not loopholes, but exemptions for the handyman for repair work type of jobs that don't fall under a contractor's license anyway. So they're kind of like hanging out there in the wind. Contractor does them illegally. Handyman, if they do it for a certain dollar amount, it's illegal. So there should be an exemption for handyman businesses. Now, as far as if you think about, so some people are going to say, well, I don't need a handyman's license if it's not going to allow me to do anything and everything I can. But bottom line is, when you think about the fact that why the contractor's license is there in the first place, it makes sense. Contractor's license, according to the state contractors board and how they push for it, is all about safety. It's all about hire a general contractor, a licensed contractor, because they've passed a background screening. So is a handyman. Because they're insured. So is a handyman. Because they have a properly structured business, a business license. So is a handyman. All these things that the contractors board is now telling the homeowner, the general public, the customer to hire a general contractor, a licensed contractor, are the same exact reasons why a handyman should get a handyman license. Because then there is no difference. The homeowner wants to hire you. They would rather not hire a general contractor. It is no secret that a handyman is a lot more skilled than most contractors. Most contractors become contractors and they forget how to do the work. Bottom line is, they're not doing the work. They're hiring people to do the work. And most handymen are doing the work themselves. Most handymen are skilled. They're carpenters. They're skilled guys who had a passion for, doing physical work, and they just created a job around it, started doing work for maybe their neighbors, their family, whatever. And hey, oh my gosh, I should open up a handyman business. So regardless of how you got there, the handyman business is a great business to be in, as long as you know how to do it and how to get around things and how to, make the most of your business. So, join the United Handyman Association. It's every business, every industry has an association that stands behind them, that advocates for them, that, when you get in trouble, we will stand up for you. That is what the UHA is all about, is basically being there with you, for you along the way, and help you survive and help you, build your business, run your business, be successful, get cheaper insurance, all those things. Well, now get a license, get the UHA certified handyman license. I mean, you now can charge more. You can advertise that instead of having to say, I'm not a licensed contractor, you can say, I'm a licensed handyman. So that's something that didn't exist for a long time. And, back when I started my business, there are a lot of things that I, wish that I could do. Like originally, getting insurance. Insurance companies did not write insurance for handyman businesses when I started. We're talking 1983. There was nothing like that. Okay. A handyman had to become a contractor. You're almost forced to become a contractor. And that's not the case anymore. So get your handyman license, get insurance, prove that you are a trustworthy person, prove who you are, prove that you're not a felon, a sex offender, whatever it is, prove that you are somebody that can be trusted. Now, what's the homeowner thinking? The homeowner's thinking, okay, well, I want to hire a handyman. Do I know anybody? Do I have any friends that have worked with the handyman? I want to be safe. I want to, all these things. Well, this is something that you can use to promote your business, because now when you meet that new person that doesn't know you, that you just hand a business card off to, and you can show them your license and say, look, you know what? I'm a handyman. I've been in the industry this long. I've gone through a license certification program. I've passed a background screening. Here is the link to verify that. I have an association that's nationwide that stands behind me, and my work and my quality, my ethics. They're standing behind me because they have screened me independently. And that can be so valuable to a young business, especially a young business starting out and trying to build trust. They're starting out with, an association that trusts them and that has gone through the due diligence to make sure that they are who they say they are, and that they're just following proper business practices. So a homeowner with kids, maybe they're going to be a lot more protective, and they're hiring contractors. They're willing to hire a general contractor to do illegal handyman work just because the state tells them that they're safe. Think about that. They're hiring them just because they're licensed, and all their license says is that they've passed a test, a background screening, they're insured, they have a business license, all those things. That's all that license is saying. That's the same thing that the handyman license is saying. Passed a background screening, you have insurance, you've got a business license, you're safe. Contractors board is not saying that a contractor is quality. They're not saying that they know how to do the work. The general contractor has nobody saying that they know how to do it. Nobody's saying that they will back them up if something happens. They're not going to be there to give the customer their money back. They're not going to be there when they don't show up and don't complete a job, or they totally just screw the customer. They're not going to be there for them to to help them with their loss. But the UHA will be. The UHA will be there for you. They will be there, to whether it's mediating or whatever it is. There's also there's a fund that, if a certified business, licensed business through the UHA takes a customer's money and doesn't show up and do the job, then, the customer can get paid back. They're paid back up to $5,000 for that. So, I think that is why it is a privilege to be certified by the UHA. It's not given to everybody. You have to go through a process. You have to pass the background screenings. Now, somebody that can't pass the background screening, there's another level for them, and it's a verified level, where they become a UHA verified handyman. So we verify the documents you have, we verify your identity, we verify, that you have insurance, we verify, so that's another thing that might be for you, is just becoming a verified handyman. So, so that you can tell your customers again, it's, this is who I am, and this is my past. And I just want to be honest with you. And but I'm a member of my trade association, and they have independently verified me, and I'm trustworthy. So maybe you go that route if you can't pass the background screening to be licensed. But again, not everyone is. It's a case by case basis. So. Just because you do have a troubled past, apply and see what happens, and explain your situation. So I can't express enough how important becoming being involved with your trade association can be, and how just how having a license. And having the ability to have a license now is very, I don't know. It's just, it is something that can be very valuable to you, and and I hope you take advantage of it. I enjoy working with you guys. And I know some of you probably aren't even still watching, but. Pardon the mess. I am in the middle of a move, and in this new house, I've combined my office on one half of the room and my gym on the other, and you see some boxes and things like that. So, and of course, there's a Home Depot bucket right in the middle of the floor. So anyway, so I thanks for watching, and go get your certified license, and and let's just continue to make this, industry safer and quality, and the handyman's being used a lot more than the contractor. That's already happening, and now we're just offering a way for a homeowner to just know who they're hiring, because they deserve to know and make that decision for themselves. Happy home repairs. This is Flash with Handyman Answers. Bye.